Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Baxter Student Ambassador Program webinar. Presenting for us today is Makaella Martin, one of our BSAP finalists from Fleming College. Now, before we get started, I'd like to let everyone know that if you have any questions at all during this presentation, feel free to type them into the Q&A box, which is found in your Zoom toolbar, and those questions will be answered after the presentation has finished. Hi, Makaella. How are you today?
Good. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. So Makaella, since you're already sharing your screen with us, you can start whenever you're ready.
Okay, thank you. Hi,
Very welcome.
thank you for joining today. So today I'm going to be talking to you about Manulife and travel insurance. So first we have an overview here. So I'm going to be starting off by talking about what is travel insurance and when is it needed, as well as the different types of travel insurance. And then I will be doing a bit of an overview about Manulife as a company, the different types of travel insurance that they offer, and general information for travel professionals about travel insurance. So what is travel insurance? Travel insurance is coverage for the unexpected or sudden circumstances that can arise when traveling from home. So this comes in a variety of forms, for emergency medical coverage or trip cancellation or interruption, or even for lost baggage. So when do travelers need insurance? Travel insurance can cover travelers both for international journeys as well as domestic. What a lot of people don't realize is that your government health coverage may not necessarily cover you in the same way in provinces or territories outside of your home province as they would when you are at home. So you may still need travel insurance while you're traveling within your home country. So many different companies offer different types of travel insurance, but the typical types you will see are medical and emergency medical, trip cancellation or interruption, and baggage. So medical or emergency medical, this is the coverage that will cover any medical costs or emergency medical services that you have to receive while in a province or territory or an international country. As these costs can be quite extravagant. A trip to the hospital in another country can range from $100 to thousands of dollars. A prime example of this was in 2016, a 20-year-old Australian woman was traveling to Israel, and she went to the hospital with severe pain in her abdomen. She was later diagnosed with appendicitis and had to have her appendix removed within 4 hours. Luckily, she had purchased travel insurance before she left Australia, as her resulting medical bills were over $11,000. And this was entirely covered by her policy. So another common type of travel insurance is trip cancellation and interruption. This is coverage for times when your trip is delayed or canceled due to unforeseen circumstances. So this could be sudden illness, a natural disaster, a death in the family, weather, any of these types of circumstances. So trip interruption also covers if you have to end your trip and return home before planned due to an emergency or unforeseen circumstance. And this often covers the cost of transportation, accommodation, activities that are prepaid, such as tours and more, depending on the coverage. So every traveler's worst nightmare is when you get to the airport, you go grab your bag off baggage carousel and it's not there. So baggage insurance often covers delayed, lost, or stolen baggage, and the reimbursement typically depends on if the bag is just delayed or if it will be lost indefinitely. And there's typically a daily limit as well as a maximum coverage per person. And this coverage is for clothing and essential items such as toiletries. So to move into Manulife as a company, Manulife is a financial services group that provides financial advice, insurance, and more services to their customers. They operate primarily as Manulife internationally, though in the United States they are known as John Hancock. They strive to make meaningful impacts in their community and to their customers through the products they provide, philanthropy, volunteering, and the promotion of health and wellness for their customers and their staff. To give a bit of an idea of how big of a company Manulife is, as of June 2019, they had $1.1 trillion in assets under management and administration, more than 34,000 employees serving approximately 28 million customers worldwide. And they're working to reshape the industry to make decisions easier and customers' lives better. So they have 5 strategic priorities that they use to work towards this focus of reshaping the industry. These are portfolio optimization, expense efficiency, accelerating growth, being a digital customer leader, and having a high-performing team to do the best they can to put the customer first and continue to reshape the industry they are part of. So as part of this, in 2018, their staff volunteered for over 66,000 hours of community service, and they also formed a sustainability governance structure that's led by an executive sustainability council that was put into place to help establish the company as a global leader in sustainable finance in the investment industry. And they work really hard to ensure that the investments that they are taking part of are being held to the highest level of sustainable practices in the industry. So Manulife currently offers 4 different types of travel insurance. So first they have insurance for traveling Canadians. They have travel insurance specifically for students, for visitors to Canada, and emergency medical travel insurance. So the CoverMe insurance for traveling Canadians is you can have either a single trip or a multi-trip plan, and whether you choose a single trip or multi-trip would depend on the type of travel you're going on, your lifestyle, and the length of your trip. Single trip would be more so for shorter single trip where you're going one destination or maybe a couple destinations within one time leaving the country and returning, whereas multi-trip plans are better for travelers who may be leaving and coming back multiple times, frequently traveling. For both of these plans, if you're under 60, there's no required medical questionnaire. And they also offer family plans for both the single and multi-trip, which cover up to 2 adults and their dependent children. And this can cover up to 3 generations as long as all family members are under 60. So with this plan, there's the emergency medical, which covers up to $10 million for physician services, ambulance transportation, hospitalization, prescriptions, and more. The cancellation and interruption plan, which covers up to the purchased amount. So the amount that was paid for transportation services, accommodation, etc., is what will be covered. And this is an all-inclusive plan, so it also includes baggage loss, damage, and delays, and then flight and travel accidents. So if the traveler encounters a travel accident or a flight accident that results in loss of sight or loss of limb, this will be covered as well. So their medical insurance, just separate from the all-inclusive plan, this is coverage for individuals with pre-existing conditions. This is called the travel insurance, and this covers up to $5 million for emergency medical coverage. So this is separate from their all-inclusive plan, specifically for if you have a pre-existing condition. So now the CoverMe travel insurance for students. This is the coverage for students who are studying away from home, whether this be abroad or within Canada, just outside of their home area. This covers emergency situations that are unexpected, as well as their routine medical expenses. This can cover accidental dental coverage, medical care up to $2 million. And this includes physician services such as annual medical and eye exams, hospitalizations, prescriptions, etc. It also covers trip breaks. So if you say want to come home for Christmas break or a reading week, as long as your trip break is under 60 days, this will not cause a termination of your coverage. You'll still be included on everything. It also includes a tuition loss coverage up to $5,000 per semester and has an optional extended coverage for your family. So now the CoverMe insurance for visitors coming to Canada has 2 different types. So if the traveler is under 70 years of age, they can get a coverage of up to $150,000. And if they're over 70 years of age, their coverage is up to $100,000. So this includes the emergency medical care, and they have the travel accident insurance coverage, which is accidental loss of sight, limb, or life, up to $50,000. And as well, they can do an optional add-on for trip interruption, which is up to $1,500 for a single traveler or $5,000 for a family. So we have a few good to know and helpful tips. So Manulife travel insurance can be used to top up what other insurance a traveler may have that what their other insurance may not cover. As many travelers may already have some travel insurance through their workplace benefits or their credit card. Manulife can be used in conjunction with those to make sure that they get the most coverage they can. They must purchase their travel insurance before leaving their home province or territory if it's for travel within Canada, or before leaving Canada if it's for an international travel. A dependent grandchild does meet the definition of a child for a family policy. They have to be traveling with the grandparent. And for people traveling with very young children, the travel insurance does not cover newborn babies unless they are a minimum of 30 days old. And it does not include coverage for prenatal care or children born on the trip or childbirth if it occurs in another area. And travelers must call the assistance center prior to receiving treatment so that they can confirm with the healthcare provider that they are insured, can help them find a nearby medical facility, and make sure that every step is followed properly. Not calling prior to receiving this treatment will result in the traveler having to pay up to 20% of the expenses. So it's really important that they know that they need to call the assistance center and understand exactly what the assistance center will help them with. So why do travel professionals need to know about insurance? If you're working within Ontario, TICO-registered travel agencies are required to inform their clients of trip cancellation and out-of-province health insurance at the time of booking. As well as 37% of Canadian travelers have recently indicated that safety and security is a top concern when they're traveling. So as a travel professional, you can really help provide your clients with that peace of mind to ensure that they're covered by going over what the travel insurance is and what it covers with the client, so that they really understand everything that will be taken care of for them with their travel insurance. So it can also help you create repeat business for your travel agency, as well as create stronger relationships with your clients, so they will really feel taken care of and cared for by your staff. And it also helps build that trust in you as a travel agent, as you'll have the knowledge to be able to answer the questions that your client asks. Okay. So I have a brief summary here. So just to go over again what travel insurance is, it's insurance that will cover the unexpected and unforeseen circumstances that can arise when away from home, whether that be internationally or within your home country. And travel insurance can come in a variety of formats and amounts of coverage, be it trip cancellation or interruption, medical and emergency medical, baggage. So Manulife currently offers 4 different types of travel insurance for traveling Canadians, students, visitors to Canada, and Travel Ease Medical. Okay, and that is the end here. Thank you. Is there any questions I can answer here?
Thank you very much, Makaella. So once again, if people that are attending remotely would like to submit questions, you guys can do that to either the Q&A box or the chat box. And if anyone here in the room with me has a question, I will put them on the line.
Hi, Makaella. It's Wendy from Baxter Media. Thank you for your presentation. I have a question about the insurance, of course. You said at one point that it covers 2 adults, independent children for 3 generations. What do you mean there? How does that work?
So that's if a family is traveling together, you can have 2 parents and their children, and then if they have grandchildren, their grandchildren can also be covered under their policy as dependent.
If they're traveling together?
Yes, if they're all traveling as a family.
Okay, so it's not a blanket thing for the year or anything.
No.
It's just for that one time when they travel together.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Makaella. I'm just keeping an eye on the Q&A box here in case any questions get submitted by Janet or Kim.
Oh, I don't see any there.
Hi, Makaella. My name is Ian Stalker. I work with Dan. Why do you think it is that many people don't appreciate the importance of travel insurance? Do you have any ideas on that?
I think that maybe a lot of people just aren't fully aware of what travel insurance can cover for them and why it's important. I think a lot of people don't realize exactly what they're not covered for when they travel and why it's so important. Like they may not realize that their home coverage doesn't extend when they leave their home area. I think it's just a lack of understanding what they are already covered for.
Okay, I totally agree with you. Thanks.
Perfect, thank you.
Thank you, Makaella. Kim asks, Makaella, is there any financial advantage for travel agents to sell travel insurance?
I'm not 100% sure on this answer. Would I be able to get back to you with the answer on that, Kim?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Janet says, great job, Makaella. The CoverMe product is our direct-to-consumer product. Manulife travel insurance is offered also to clients who purchase a trip through their travel agency. When you sell travel abroad, do you purchase travel insurance? She's asking you specifically.
Do I personally? Yes, I do. I don't think I've ever traveled without travel insurance. Luckily, I've never had to use it, but I've always felt more safe and secure traveling, knowing that if anything happens to me, that I'm going to be taken care of. So, yes.
That's wise. Great answer.
Thank you.
And Janet says, fantastic.
Thank you.
Okay, I do believe that's it for the submitted questions, but I would like to thank all of you that tuned into the webinar today. Thank you all so much for joining us. And Makaella, thank you so much for presenting as part of the 2020 Baxter Student Ambassador Program.
Thank you. Thank you for this opportunity, and thank you everyone for listening.
Take care, Makaella, and bye, Kim. Bye, Janet.
Bye.
Take care, everyone.